We got to play the initial 2 hours of Insomniac's upcoming Spider-Man game yesterday, and we're here to give you our thoughts on those first 2 hours. A title will probably go here.
So what was interesting is you start off in a really nice little touch, you're in Peter's apartment, and then right out the window, straight into the swinging. And what did you think of the swinging?
Well, yeah, thank God. First things first, the swinging's awesome, isn't it?
The swinging just feels great. You don't want to stop, do you? You just want to keep going and going. But then it throws you right into the action, which at first for me felt brilliant, but then suddenly it was like, okay, and you're gonna do this combo here, and now you've got to do this, and now there's dudes at you, and then suddenly there's rockets, and then there's the kingpin.
Right.
What?
Right, exactly. Oh, sorry to start off on such a negative, because honestly, I've walked away. I cannot wait. I want to be facing this way and watching that. How can we compete with that? Look at that!
It's just when it comes to cinematic storytelling, especially with Sony, God of War just nailed it. And the storytelling may not be quite there, but make no mistake, this is a game you want to play.
Something else they didn't get quite right at the beginning is the difficulty curve is a little bit all over the place.
Hopefully that can be tweaked, because you come straight in and the combat was, not taking any prisoners. In the first half an hour, I died 3 times.
Oh my God, I died 4 times in the first boss fight, which happens in the first couple of minutes. So that's what we're talking about, the pacing issues.
Later on, I felt like the combat really clicked.
Yeah, for sure.
The key question is, how does it compare to Arkham?
Not as crisp for me. In Arkham, if you press the counter button, you're gonna get a counter. Whereas this, because there's a lot going on, you're fighting a lot of enemies at the same time. It feels like sometimes you press the dodge button and sometimes I'd still get nicked, which is a bit of a sin for me. It's the one thing that the combat didn't quite get right for me. But hey, it was still a blast to play.
There's a really nice sense of agility to it that Arkham doesn't quite have. But I think the reason we have these issues is because you just feel really underpowered and it's really difficult at the start. It's really difficult, right? This is a game I thought, everyone's going to be able to play it, family friendly, but I struggled more with that than God of War, which is interesting.
If you don't like a challenge, seriously start on the easy difficulty.
I did not get to play as Mary Jane, but you did. How was that?
Yes, you get to play as Mary Jane. In this universe, she is an investigative reporter, and in the short section that I got to play, there's a bit of stealth. You're sneaking around as her, obviously underpowered because she hasn't been bitten by a radioactive nothing. And you're taking some photos and you're solving some simple puzzles, and I actually have to say, they could have fumbled the ball. It was actually pretty fun. I look forward to the next Mary Jane section. Definitely.
Awesome. We did get to play as Peter Parker as well. Unfortunately, it feels a bit filler. There's some weird circuitry mini games.
And the problem with that is, obviously lots of games have that. Even the Arkham games that we both love have the mini games, sort of crammed in there, but they're done much more elegantly in the Batman games. In this, they feel very disconnected from what you're actually doing.
And I mean, again, you probably think we're being quite negative here, but the only reason we're nitpicking and coming down on these bits is because the rest of it is so good. It's like a bit, you're on a high, and then you come crashing down in these sections and go, but why? And I thought the suit upgrade system, the skill trees are really cool as well.
Yeah. Because a lot of games can be guilty of padding out their skill trees.
Definitely. I mean, and that's the thing we're saying about the combat feeling a bit initially. I feel like looking at that skill tree, within 3 hours, that's not going to be a complaint because you really upgrade Spidey. And each suit you have isn't just an aesthetic throwback. Each suit has its own powers and mods as well.
Obviously, we only played the first initial moments, but we were showed how the map looked further on in the game. And it was stuffed full of icons, things to do, side missions, and the crimes that happen sort of randomly around you that you can go and stop. As the stakes increase in the world and in the story, the crimes get bigger and more violent and more varied. The new ones get introduced throughout the game, so you're not just stopping the same car 20 times. Well, I'm sure you'll probably do that anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of the world, they absolutely nailed the pedestrians, which is a small thing, but while you're swinging through the city, you'll hear them below commenting on a crime that's going on nearby, or if you land and walk amongst them, you'll get some, hey Spideys, and even a few of them will want to come up to you and have a high five, and you'll get these little contextual moments where you can interact with the pedestrians, and so yeah, little touches like that really help the world come to life.
The other thing we have to mention is that this game is gorgeous.
Quickly, get to the end of the video now.
Up there with God of War as one of the PS4 Pro's standout games. I mean, it just looks stunning, doesn't it?
Oh my God, it looks absolutely gorgeous in 4K. It is locked at 30 frames per second. There's no 60 frames option, but but man, you don't miss it.
It doesn't feel like it at all.
It feels smooth. It probably is due to the crazy
motion
amount
blur.
of motion
Yeah,
blur
it
that's
really
added.
makes you feel like you're zooming along, but it works.
And you can turn that down in the settings anyway, and it still feels smooth.
Don't do
as
that. You won't be
margarine.
Spider-Man if you don't do that.
Well, that's just about all we've got time for. And thank goodness, because we're at the end of the video. I've been Zach Fox. I've forgotten what his name is, and thanks for swinging by.